When it comes time to deciding on which cover crop or cover crops you're going to plant on your farm, there's a growing list of options available to growers. And while this increase in the available species is great for flexibility and just better options overall, it can be a daunting task to sift through this list and decide what's right for you. In this video, we'll go through 6 considerations that you can make to better narrow down and select the species for your farm. We'll also show you a useful tool from Precision Sustainable Ag that can aid as you consider the species available and make the right selection for your farm. Number 1, what are your cover crop goals? Not surprisingly, when it comes to cover crops, different species are good at accomplishing different things. It's important for you to sit down and really define what your goals are or what issues you're trying to address on your farm through cover crops. For example, if weed suppression is your main objective, plant a high biomass cover crop like cereal rye. The Cover Crop Selector tool from Precision Sustainable Ag allows you to input your specific goals and rank them. It will then show you a list of cover crops and let you see which ones are best for accomplishing each goal. Number 2, what's your budget? This may be a shock, but cover crops cost money, and the prices will vary significantly based on the species you select. It's important to have your own budget for your farm and make sure that the cover crops you select will fit within that budget for them to remain financially viable. The Cover Crop Selector tool is a great place to start. It has market averages when it comes to seed costs for different cover crop species and can let you see which ones are more or less expensive. An important next step would be to contact your seed retailers to get current, accurate prices so you can see if the cover crop species you select will fit within your budget. Number 3, what's your window? When you can plant a cover crop will vary based on your location and harvest schedule. Making sure you get a cover crop species established by the recommended dates is critical for proper establishment and success. The Cover Crop Selector tool allows you to put in your specific cash crop growing window. It will then compare this to the recommended planting date for different cover crop species based on your specific location. This can allow you to select species that fit in your calendar. Number 4, how experienced are you with cover crops? Cover crops are a significant commitment, and it may take a couple years of practice to really hone in your management of them. When you start out, it may be best to select a species that's easy to establish to make sure you get good return on your investment. It's also worth investigating termination methods that are recommended for each species and see how these align with your current farming practices. Number 5, do you have any ongoing issues that a cover crop can make worse? While there is a long list of benefits with cover crops, they do come with certain challenges or risks. Make sure you don't have any ongoing problems that a cover crop species can make worse. For example, if you're dealing with root knot nematodes, a cover crop like red clover could host and make that problem worse. This may take some research on your part, but the Cover Crop Selector tool is a great place to start. It has a lot of information on each individual species, allowing you to see potential challenges that exist. Number 6, can the cover crop grow in your field? Different cover crops perform better under different conditions. Make sure you're selecting a species that will match your location and field characteristics. The Cover Crop Selector tool will let you sort through cover crops based on their environmental tolerance. Tolerance to things like drought, salinity, heat, shade, and more. Make sure the cover crop you select will grow where you plant it before you plant it. Making these considerations ahead of time is a great way to make sure the cover crops that you plant will work for you. Unfortunately, there isn't a one-size-fits-all recommendation when it comes to cover crop species. Taking the time to research and making sure the species you select will fit within your farm's location, rotation, goals, and other farming practices is a great way to improve cover crops' impact on your farm.